Hello everyone, so in this video let us talk about some of the frustrations when it comes to using a tool like Jira. And this is of course based on my experience, and I want to make this video to not just share my frustrations but basically to share these problems, these challenges, these difficulties that many others face when it comes to using a tool like Jira. Now, the first point in my list is about backups and the ability to restore your backup, view your backup, and the way you manage your backup. Now, if you're on Jira server, I think things are fine, or I should say Jira Data Center, because you can always look inside your database if you have to. Of course, we don't really recommend that you modify something in the database, but sometimes we also have to modify something directly in the database. But in any case, you have access to the database. You can always use your native database backup tools to take a backup and manage it yourself. You can always restore it easily, and you have, of course, access to your own database, so you can do wonderful things with it. Maybe you can use it for reporting. Maybe you can because I have always relied on my own SQL scripts to figure out the usage of my custom fields. But of course, similar things. Now, when it comes to cloud, you can't really do much. You can, of course, take a backup, that XML backup, but what exactly are you going to do with that particular backup? I mean, you can restore it, but that is it, right? You can always restore it back to a Jira Cloud instance, or maybe to a Jira Data Center version, but still, it is not massively useful. It is just a backup file that you can use if you have to use. But talking about data itself, you can say that, okay, we have taken a backup, great, but you can't really query your database because there is no database. There is no there is no concept of list of issues that you can fetch from this big XML files. You can of course always rely on your other methods, like maybe use your own reports, or maybe dump something regularly, or use REST API. So I think backups and data in general, I think it is a bit frustrating, especially on the cloud, not that much on data center. But other points in the list, they are relevant for both data center and cloud. Now, the next point is reporting. Now, when it comes to reporting in Jira, Jira reports are fine, they are good, but based on my experience, people always hit a wall because when you start reporting, when you start analyzing what is happening, or maybe you want to use that information to improve your process, or maybe it's a need from compliance, you need to create a bit more customized version of those simple pie charts or bar charts. You need the ability to uh, also do some calculations in your report. So you can't really do advanced reporting. That is the point. And you can always rely on an app like EasyBI, or you can always dump something to an Excel sheet. But I think reporting can definitely be improved natively. I know about Data Lake, but I don't have access to it, and it is only for enterprise. So I don't know yet. So third point is planning. Now planning in Jira, I believe, is because fundamentally Jira is nothing but an issue tracker, and people expect when they start using a tool like Jira that yes, Jira is a project management tool, but it is not. So I think planning aspect in Jira itself natively can be improved. I know we have advanced roadmaps, but advanced roadmaps is again it has its own problems, because essentially when you are using a tool like Jira, you have to basically change the way you work. Of course, it can work for you, but if you're coming from that standard known practices in the industry background, then Jira can be frustrating, because I work with managers, project managers. They have used those traditional Gantt chart based approach, which is, to be honest, nothing wrong with it. In fact, I prefer, in fact, I say that sometimes creating that plan or Gantt chart or a bit waterfallish method I think it is a requirement sometimes, especially if you're working in a very tight budget controlled uh, way of working. Let us say you have a budget. Okay, we have this budget. Okay, build something or deliver this, or maybe the product or whatever you're trying to deliver, you need to make it perfect. You need to make it sturdy. So there is no scope of continuous improvement. You have to make it right in one go. Of course, there are different use cases, but just trying to give you an example, especially banking, for example. Now, planning itself in Jira, you don't really have any critical path. You don't really have any uh, proper dependencies. I mean, you can always have like those links, but it is not really. It is just not enough because there are different types of dependencies that you may want to use in Jira and plan accordingly. There is no way to adjust the plan automatically. Jira will or it can do few things, but not really each and everything. And you always need help from a consultant like me to make it work for you. But out of the box, Jira planning is a bit weak. And I know there are apps. I know you can use advanced roadmaps, but I personally don't really understand this concept of features that you will get with these tiers. I mean, I have no say in this because it is Atlassian's product, but I think uh, the plan should be based on I guess number of users, and that is it. You should probably keep these features open to everyone. I mean, some features make sense, like sandboxing. But the core features that you have in the tool, I know even in the free version of Jira, you can do a lot. But I think restricting or limiting or not giving everyone access to advanced roadmaps or assets, for example, I think it's a bit. I think it is a bit of a shame because many people want to use advanced roadmaps. Many people want to use assets. I understand if you're using a free version of Jira, then there is a limit on number of automation. Totally makes sense. But the roadmap that you get with your project is, again, it is not massively useful. Advanced roadmaps, although it has problems, but it can be useful for many people. Now, the next point is only integration with Confluence natively. Now, Jira can talk to Confluence, Confluence can talk to Jira, great. But there are cases where you may want to integrate your own knowledge base. It could be any knowledge base. I'm not really saying that make it, I mean, because you have REST API, so if you have to do some custom integration, you can always do it. But there should be a way to integrate maybe another popular knowledge base or some wiki to your Jira, especially for Jira service management, because Jira service management's knowledge base is nothing but Confluence, which is not ideal for many people because not ideal for many organizations because they already have something. So there should be some way, like the tool itself should allow it, um, and it should not be too difficult to do it at the same time. The next point is searching. So I think searching can be improved in Jira. Jira search, for me personally, as an experienced Jira user, consultant, administrator, it is not a massive problem for me because I know how to search. But for majority of people, they struggle with search. So I think searching can be improved not only in Jira but also in Confluence because Confluence search is, I don't really want to use the word rubbish, but it's not good. Uh, Try to search for something that you created 6 months back, or maybe that page that someone sent you and you don't really have the link anymore, then you are probably uh, going to be even more frustrated because you have to ask that person for the link again. But searching itself can be massively improved. I mean, there are other tools that can search. I mean, I'm not really saying that, okay, use uh, maybe it's a search engine that they're using, or maybe they are not really using it properly. I don't know, but searching definitely needs some work. Uh, the last point is JQL or limitations of JQL. Now, JQL is fine, it is good for me because I know, or I know what JQL can do and what JQL cannot do. But many people want to not only get the list of issues, but they may also want to perform some calculations. They may also want to perform some grouping. They also may want to get not list of issues, but maybe list of users, or maybe list of projects or something else. So JQL only returns issues, and that is it, list of issues. But you can't really do more than that. I believe if we can have something like SQL, it can be a simplified version of SQL. I'm not really saying that give us like a place where we can write SQL scripts or SQL queries to create procedures, but uh, at least add more capabilities in JQL. And this again goes back to reporting because these things work together, reporting, JQL, and searching. So these are some points, frustrations, challenges, difficulties uh, that I thought I'll probably share with you because it is my responsibility. On this channel, of course, I focus on Atlassian tools, but at the same time, I should also share and be honest and transparent with all of you. All right, that is it. That is it for today. And by the way, yesterday I did my, not yesterday, because this video will go live tomorrow. So on 14th of January, I did the very first webinar, ITSM webinar. I'm feeling good and I'm very proud that yes, I was able to do it because I planned for it. But I am now going to announce soon the next date for the next webinar. And by the way, of course, this channel is all about Jira and Atlassian, but I also do other things. I also use Linux and open source technologies. I also use Emacs, R mode, and I have another channel called BlackBerry Boy. There is a link somewhere. If you want to subscribe, you can, in case you want to know a bit more about myself, because on this channel, my focus always has been Jira and Atlassian tools. But I also do other things, and that is it. Bye bye.